Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our Blazor series. So on our today's video, we are going to upload files or even images on our application. So on our students module, we were able to capture some details about students, that is adding a new students, where we were able to register a student with the registration number, first name, middle name, last name, email address, phone number, country, gender, and even the date of birth. So some of these sections, we are missing images. So for example, parents, you can actually upload a photo of a parent. So we need to actually add that. So for students, I want us to cover something interesting. I want us to add a way to upload a student photo in our application using a Blazor. So to begin with, let's just go into our model. Then we check if we have our model. In our model, we check if we were capturing photos. So you can see we don't have anything, but I want us to capture the photo name of the student when we are registering the student's details. So what I want us to do, I want us to modify our model. Then we just have here, we say photo. So after adding that, we can do the same for parents. So we change the same for parents. So let's just look for the model. This is the model. We can add a photo. So once we do that, the next thing that we need to do, I'll just stop my application. We need to run migrations. So we need to add migration. So I'm going to say add migration. Then I'll say photos. Then add migration. So this will now include the two fields that we've just added to our database. So that is the photos for parents and the photos for students. So to update the changes, we can do update database. Then once we press enter, those two tables will be updated with the photos column. So after doing that, I want us now to introduce something on our app. So let's go to our interface, that is pages, then under students. So I'm going to students. Then under student, I want us to add a section for us to add to upload a photo. So I'm going to copy this code here. Then do that. Then inside here, I'll say student photo. So that will be the name of our field. Then instead of doing input date, I'll do input. I'll say input file. Then these, I'll remove this. Then have remove the binding as well. Then have that. So what I can add something called accept. So this accept will allow us to only limit the kind of files that we want our application to accept. So I'll do PNG. I'll also do JPEG. So that will actually allow us to limit the kind of files that we can upload. So after doing that, I want us to do something here. I want us to add on our code, inside our code here, we do public. So we just do public, then I browse. So I browse file. Then you can say this is a file. Then do that. So after doing that, I want us also down here to create a class. I can say private. Then you say async task. So this should be async task. Then I want us to do, we say load, upload file. That is our method. Then inside here, then here I want us to do input, change, input file, change event. Then we put there E. Then once we do that, I want us to say now take our file and we assign it e.file. So then we'll have our file there. So the next thing is on our input file, we'll say on change. So we'll say on change is equals to, so that should be on change, then we do that. On change is equals to load file. So we'll do on change is equals to load file. This should be double quotes. Then we'll do there at load file. So this is double quotes, sorry. So we do that way. So on change, load file. So if you load the file, so our browser file will be appended with our file. So the next thing that we need to do is to create some of the things here. So what I want us to do is we need to capture the file name, the file details, and even upload that file to our application. But before we begin, I want us to create another method. And that method will now give us the option to upload the file. So I want us to create another method here. So after doing this, I want us to create another method. Here we'll say private, then async, then task. So this method will give us an absolute path of our file, and that path is what we'll be saving to our database. So we are expecting to get a string of the file. Then so we'll say here uploaded file. Then this will be like that. Then we'll check if our file is null. So we'll do if file is not, let's say, is not null. If our file is not null, then we begin to do something. So else, so if our file is null, then I want us to return, we return an empty string. So we just do return that. Then if our file is not empty, so what should happen? So if our file is not empty, what should happen? So I want us to first do one thing inside here. So I want us to create the file name. So I'll do string file name. Instead of using the file name that the user has just uploaded, I want us to automatically reassign a new file, which is actually auto-generated by the system, instead of saving the file names that has been uploaded by the users. So we'll just do path, then we do a change extension, then into brackets, we say here path, then get random file name, get random file name. Then here, so this will give us a random file name. Then we now pass also the extension. So we say path, the extension of that file. Then we say get extension. So we get extension of our file now. So, and we will get that by passing our file dot name. So let me minimize this so that you're able to see. So that is a file name dot name. So this will give us actually our file name, and it will assign a unique ID, that is the unique file name, which will be saved within our application. So our path, where are we going to save this file? So I want us to create a path. So we'll say string path is equals to path dot combine. So we are going to combine the path. So this we are going to actually see where we are saving this file. But before we actually do anything, remember we need to have defined where our file will be uploaded. So to do that first, let's just go to our app settings. So on our app settings, we need to define our directory. So here I'll just do comma, then I say file uploads. So this file uploads, we need to define where our file will go. So I've already created a folder under my local disk D, and here I have a D, then documents upload. So I'm going to copy that. So I'll copy that, then paste on my app settings. So you can see we have backslash documents. This is the path that I want us to upload our file. So then if you are done with that, go back to our students form. So under students. So after we are done with that, I want us to get the path. So to get that path, I'm going to say path combine. Then I want us to use the I configuration. So to do that, we are going to inject it at the top here. So I'll just say at inject. Then we do I configuration. Then we say config. So we are going to use that. Then at the bottom here now, we want to access now the app settings file. So here I'll do config, then dot get value. So we want to get the value of our folder. And the value that we want to retrieve is actually what we've added, these app settings. You see these uploads? We want to retrieve it. So we'll do get config get value. Then we are expecting a string. Then on our string, we need to get the value of the name of the value that you want to get is the value of app file uploads. So we'll pass that there. Then after doing that, we need to, we'll pass that there. Then after doing that, we need to define, in case we want our system to create a subfolder within this folder. So I'll want to have another folder, let's say students. So this is where all the uploads for the students will go. Then after that, I'll need to pass the file name that will be saved. And this is the file name that we have auto-generated, and we already have the correct file name that you want to save. So after doing that, this will be our, so let me just minimize so that you have a clear view. Yes. So after doing that, then I'll just do comma. So this is now our path. But you can see there is something here. It says there is possible null reference argument for parameter path. So we are sure that we have the value for this file upload. So to do that, we can actually add an exclamation mark there. Then that will be solved. So the next thing is, we remember we have our file uploads, which is actually this one. But for us to upload the file, we want to create a subfolder called students. So how do we do that? Remember, we will not be creating those subfolders manually, but we will want our application, once we just upload the file, it will create those subfolders automatically. So I'll just do directory, then dot create directory. So I want to create that directory. So I'll combine my path now. So I'll try to get my path. So that is a path dot combine. Then here on this combine, I'll also get this value. You see this? So I'm going to copy this. I want to get the full name of our storage. So this is the correct path. So I'll just pass the path here. Then after we have that, I want to create now our students. You see this? So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So it will create that path. So this is the path that will be created. I need to close it again. There we go. So directory.create, then it will create, it will get the file uploads, which is actually this one. Then inside the file uploads, it will create a folder called students. So after we've created our folder, what next? So here we've created our file name, we've created our path, and we have actually created now the directory for the subfolders. So we want now to save our file. So to do that, we'll just do await, then using file stream. So I'll do file stream, then I'll say file stream is equals to new, then I'll pass my path. So I'll say path, then comma, file, that is file. So this will be file mode dot create. So we want to create. Then after doing that, I want now to read. So I'll just do await. Then our file dot open stream. Then sorry. So I'll just do open stream. Open stream. So that is a stream. Sorry. Open stream. This should be open read. Open read stream. Then close it. Then do copy async. So after doing copy async, then you pass our file stream here. Then close it. There we go. So after doing this, we should be now in a position to upload our file. But you remember, we need to return our file, our absolute path here. So just below here, I want us to do something. I want us to return our absolute path, because that is what we'll be saving to our database. So I want us to create a string. So we'll just do string file. We can say relative path. Relative path. Then we'll just do path dot combine. Then we'll pass our path. So which is our absolute path will be now the students here. So we'll take our students, then comma, then we pass our file name. So this is our file name. Then what we need to return for this method now will be our relative path. So here we'll just do return relative path. So this method will now give us our file name. So after doing this, remember now we've created our file and we have uploaded our file. But we need, once you click on save student, we get the file name and append it to our model. So we need to move to our create student method, which is actually at the top here. If you check on our form, on validate create student. So we come there. Then once you click create student, we come here and say stud. So stud is our object, stud object. Then we do dot photo. So this is the photo is equals to. Then we do upload dot. So we do upload. I mean, here we are getting a file. So we'll do await upload. Then this is a method. So when you do that, we are expecting to get our upload file. So here this is we missed something. You see, this is an int. So we need to change that. So on our model, we actually placed it as an int. So that should not be the case. So that should be string. Sorry for that. So I'll just go to student. Then here we'll say string. And remember, we did a string, but we already have some records. So I'll just have these as nullable. Then let's check the same for teachers. I think for teachers is a nullable. So after doing that, I'll do migrations. So I'll just apply migrations. Then I'll just clear. Then add migrations. I'll say photos student. Add the migration. Then after adding the migration, we should be in a good position to update the database and now try to create a file and actually create a student who has a file attached or a photo. So once our migrations is done, then we should be able to update our database. So there we go. So I'll just run update database. So if you're watching our videos and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you feel the videos are good, you can also buy us coffee, and we will appreciate. Even if it's a hot one, we will really appreciate. So after that, I'm going to my add student. Then you'll see now this is resolved. So you see student photo, it is expecting a string, and this will give us a string. So I want us now to check. If you go back to our folder, you see we don't have anything. So I want us to run our application and try to upload an image. Then we should be able to have a folder called students created, then our relative path saved to the database. So before doing anything, even trying to test our application, let's confirm. So let's confirm we've added our render mode. So ensure you've added at render mode interactive server. Then down here, ensure we have input on change load upload file. Then accept.png, JPEG, and JPG. Then on here we have browse file. Then load upload file. This is our file, upload file. Then we are getting our file name, which is actually auto-generated. Then our path. So we have our file uploads. Then we have our students. So for ensure we have the correct file uploads name here. So this is the name, file uploads, and it is going to our directly D documents upload, which is actually what we show you. So when you come to our add students page, ensure we have our relative path, which is students, then file name. Then we have our directory.create directory. We have path combine. We get the value of the file path, which is documents uploads. Then we create our subfolder. Then we read and create our file. Then we copy and we return this. So when we are saving our students now, create a student method, which is actually part of what is at the top here. Create student method. That is when we pass our student.photo, we pass and we retrieve our upload file. So once we have that, we can actually now test our application. So I'm going to apply changes if there is any. Then go to our students, and we are going to create a student. So I'm going to create a new student. Then I'm going to say T, that is the registration number. Then I'm going to just put in some weird characters here. Then email address, then address, then we have a phone number, then we have a mail, then we have date of birth. Then I'll choose now the file to upload. So I'm going to upload one of my thumbnails. Then if I click save, this should be saved. So if you go back to our folder, you see we don't have any folder created. So I'm expecting when you click save student, you should actually save our folder file and save our student details. As you can see, we have our student details saved. If you go to the database and try to retrieve all the students, you will see we have the last student record, and you'll be able to see we have the file name. So we actually have the file name. So you can add students and we'll be saving these file names. So if you go to our directory, you'll see that we have a student folder, and inside the student folder, we have our file. And the name of the file, you see, it is actually randomly generated. So you can also add another student. So let's add another student. File name there. The first name, I mean, then the email, then phone number, country, date of birth. Then we select another file. So, and if you are keen, if you click select, you'll see that here at the custom files, it is actually accepting the PNG, JPG, and the JPEG. So we are only able to see the images. So if we select that and click save, you see we have our last file, the student here. Then if we go to our database, we should be able to see our student records, and we have our student name. And you can see it is actually saving student slash, then the name of the file. If you go to our directly, we're able to see the images. So that is it for today, guys. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, like our video, and comment down below. See you in our next video. Bye.